Hello and welcome back to ChiefTutor.com, Training Videos in Chief Architect. This is video number 2 on how to make a door in Chief Architect. Okay, in the first version, or first video, I showed you how to manipulate the textures and apply them to our door. The next thing we want to do is create a nice molding detail around the edges. So I've already started here, and basically what I've done is I've drawn a square, and using my arc tool I went ahead and arced out a couple of arcs that I like in my square. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the parts I don't need with the eraser tool, and it becomes a solid piece. Make sure you have a solid piece because that's important. Okay, so I'm going to drag and let go with my cursor, selecting the whole item there. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose it as make a component and say create, and it becomes a component. Now with that highlighted and nothing else, the computer will only focus, SketchUp now will only focus on this item. So I'm going to take my rotation tool because I need this in a different placement. And I'm going to go ahead and use my door as, what's the term you want to use here, as a reference, I guess, for where I want it to bend and how I want it to bend. So I'm going to click one time on this surface, and I'm going to click again and start the rotation process. And there I've rotated it this way. Here using the ground, I'm going to click one time, click again, and rotate it this way. And now I have the item the way I like it, or in the position that I like it. So now I'm just going to drag it and put it on the door. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab it, pull it on up here, and try to get it on the surface here. That's pretty close. Let's drag it straight up there. There we go. That's more like it. Maybe try to get out a little bit more. And you can thumb around and do it different ways and manipulate it different ways. It's kind of fun. Now in that position, I'm going to reshape it because I think it's just too big for going around my door. So I'm going to use this one, this scale tool, and you'll notice these handles pop up. It allows me to rescale the item pretty quickly. I'm just going to rescale it down right about there. Okay. Now I'm going to click it one more time and just kind of drag it into my door about yay far. Okay, now with that complete, I am going to right click on the item and explode it so it's back into the regular pieces that we find in the SketchUp model. Okay, with it exploded and exactly where I want it, I'm going to use this tool, the Follow Me tool. And I'm going to select one of the edges, and I'm going to just try to follow the outside line that I have set up here in order to create my molding. I'm just going to go right on around the edge, and you'll have to play with this quite a bit because it reacts differently every time. Once you get it to where you think you want it, you click one more time and it will just appear. Now it is all white because it was drawing new, so I need to color it this color again. So holding down Shift, our trick applies the color all the way across. Okay, and there's my door molding. It's kind of thick, kind of heavy, but you know, you get the point. It's kind of cool, sticks out kind of a bit, and it'll show up good on renders, that's for sure. Okay, so there's my piece. Now what I'd like to do is create a piece of glass. So let's go ahead and do this. First I'm going to save. Well, it was good to save, right? I'm going to get my rectangle tool, and I'm going to see if I can't just apply right on the face the piece of glass that I want. Sure enough, that didn't work, and there's many reasons why, but basically it's going to close the loop itself if I just touch one of the edges. There, it closed the loop and created that piece for me. Now that piece, I don't want wood. I'm going to go here to maybe their translucent colors, maybe their glass, and click on it one time. I'm also going to revert to this side, and I want to click and touch this side as well. It's really important that we get both sides of this piece to be glass. So if I right click, I can choose my entity info, and it will tell me that right now both sides are glass. If one of these is wood or white or some other color, just make sure you get both sides to be glass. And there you go. That's the front of the door. Now we just need to create the back of the door, which is still pretty easy. So let me show you. I'm going to drag my cursor over the item, And let's go ahead and we can make it a component, or, well, you know what? Let's just leave it for now. I'm going to right click on it and choose, now, you know what? I'm going to select it all and choose copy. There we go. That's a good idea. Then I'm going to paste it, and we're going to paste it right here. Now, with that one selected, you can right click on it and say reverse flip. Here we go. Flip along the green direction. And you'll notice the XY axis is all in different colors here, which makes sense for us. Okay, so I flipped the door and faced it on the back side. Excuse me. Okay, now I want to make sure that that corner lines up with that corner. So that's what I'm going to try to do. With that still completely selected, I'm going to touch the first corner. I'm just going to try to touch this corner. And if it melded correctly, it should go together nicely. I'm also going to select one of the pieces of glass and I'm going to delete it. And that looked like it took them both. It sure did. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to backstep it, and then I'm going to take out that piece of glass. I'm going to select it all and apply it to the back again. Now the reason why I want to do that is because I've found with too many layers of glass in a ray trace on Chief, the glass doesn't show up very well. So it's always best to be one-sided and to make sure it's all actual glass. Okay, those two lined up pretty good. All looks well. Now I'm pretty much done with my door, so I'm going to make it a component, which you don't necessarily have to, but I like to just to finish it off. That's all one component there. And if I want to uncompress the component, I can even delete this line that's in between the doors now, but I'm just going to leave it because it's not going to bother us at all. And I just want to make sure all my textures applied and everything, yeah, everything looks good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this bad boy. And then let's open up Chief, shall we? It seems like my Chief is rather large. Okay, we're back into Chief here, and I've drawn just a basic wall there. And I'm going to go ahead and go to File and Import 3D Symbol. And let's import the door that we've saved. And down here I'm going to tell it to be a door, so we know. Click OK. And it should just generate in. Now it might say there's a strange color. Do you want to apply it? You say yes. You can always change the color later. And there's the door one, and my symbol for a door is there. There we go. Now I'm going to take my camera and I'm just going to slide it right up on the door and zoom in just a bit here. And let's go ahead and pick a couple of different colors, shall we? Let's go to materials and maybe down to wood, and here's a nice one, alder. And we'll apply it all in alder. As well as, let's go ahead and get some glass, shall we? Go up here to glass, and maybe the glass gray, and apply it there. There we go. Then I'm just going to grab that color and apply it to our trim molding there. And there we go. It's pretty straightforward and imports pretty well. So I'm going to just do a quick little ray trace on it as well, just to make sure that it all looks well and worked out fine. And you can see with the molding around the edge, working on both inside and outside, it came in very nicely. One thing I did forget to do maybe was to put something behind the door so we can see the actual glass reflection and what goes through it. So why don't we do that one more time? I'm going to back up here, click like so. I could see it in just plain view, which is very nice. And hit my ray trace, and let's go to low quality, shall we? And here comes the ray trace. I went ahead and added a light on the inside so we can clearly see right through the glass, and it worked out great. At this point you can change the handle and manipulate it and put it over or higher or lower or wherever you need to. But that's it. That's the basics for making a door symbol using SketchUp. So I hope you learned something new, and I'll talk to you all again soon.